Yeah, man, we can get into it though. I don't have a ton. I saw your GM. Yeah, I'm on the same page. I don't have a ton to get into, but there's a couple interesting topics. Yeah, man, largely just ranging. I think we're fortunately lower than what we were last time, but um,
Yes, yes. It's always so weird, man. Like I kind of lose perspective. Right here, I guess we can, yeah, formally kind of kick the show off. Welcome everybody. You guys know the drill. Open format. You guys can unmute, jump in if you have any thoughts, questions, hot takes, whatever. It's not financial advice. We're just going to go through some stuff for the week as usual. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Yeah, it's like it's just ranging. And like we've been doing the under over game, and I go to check your results, and it's like it's not even impactful, because I'm like, wait, hold on, I have to go like look at the chart from the week. I'm like, oh, you're right, like we're right where we started, but like so much happens in between. But it almost just feels like a moot point, because we're where we started. The sentiment shifts a little bit, but we're just choppy, man, choppy. So I assume a lot of people are probably getting bored, because that's the camp I find myself in. But yeah, eager to
yeah,
hear your thoughts and takes, and how we can stay level headed here. So hit us with it. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I get it, man. It's similar. I mean, I feel it's been it feels like the bear market, dude. Like honestly, like there's just not been like really much to do. Like even just like a couple of months ago, we were still kind of like farming a bit. We had like blasts to look forward to. And now it's just like I don't like there's really not much going on out there. But I feel like usually like in what I consider still like an uptrend, like um that's probably a good thing. That sentiment is so low. Like that usually is when kind of a reversal happens. Seeing as we kind of already had a prolonged bear period. To me, it feels like early cycle still, like maybe like 2020s, or like 2020. I mean, is a comparison to where we are at. I think I've talked about this before, but it just still feels like early, um, in terms of like adoption, uh, and just general like normie sentiment as well. Like it just doesn't even feel like it's even like started.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm getting a weird sense of like, yeah, so it's a good point. It does feel like the bear, even though we're in an uptrend. It's almost like there's a birthday coming up, but we're expecting someone to be planning a surprise party right now, right? It's like something, it feels like something is happening or should be happening, but it kind of isn't. So I don't know, maybe it's a powder keg ready to explode, or what are your thoughts? You think we just need like a big catalyst, or like what's going on? What's gonna break us out of this chop and show us one way or another what type of market we're in?
Yeah, I mean, it's also been summer, right? And that's always been lower volume, less stuff going on. People are touching grass. I think we're starting now, going to start getting into more action, more stuff popping up. I think I mean, I still personally feel pretty bullish, but in the short term, it's like I hate to say it, but I was just like I don't know, I really that's kind of how it feels like with a lot of people who I follow, like who I respect from macro perspective, and I think that's fine to have that position. Like sometimes in the market, like you're not gonna have a great feel of what's gonna happen, and that usually just kind of means sit on your hands and really only take like smaller like micro conviction plays that you feel good about, and then besides that, just largely kind of wait it out until the market kind of shows its hand a little bit more. That's how I'm feeling a bit right now, which is kind of like makes it a little bit more boring from a you know content perspective, like having a show and like talking about stuff, which is unfortunate on that front. But um, I'll give a little bit of color from Donald, who's again referenced in like every show, but my favorite one to follow. He had a really good Friday YouTube show if you want to check it out. It was like 2 hours long, but you can kind of just focus on like the early part of it. Um, but kind of just giving his thoughts on the monthly time frame, weekly, daily, all that. And he's largely basically his position is uh, this tweet right here that I'm going to post. Just talking about how the charts look like not great, but the sentiment feels kind of a lot better now, just with how many people are more like how big of a washout we had, down to like under 50K recently, and then like just the fact that sentiment's a lot lower than what it used to be. People aren't taking aggressive, stupid bets and speculating a bunch. Like that's usually like a healthy thing for a market, is to have that washout before we can resume the up action. So that's kind of where we are. I'd say like still optimistic, but it might just take some time, kind of thing. Is how I'm feeling at the moment.
Yes, sir. I'm right there with you. I've said it before too. I wouldn't even. I know like it's a slow market and that's weird for like a show and content, but honestly, I really believe that there is value in just pointing out, how your thoughts and perspective that nothing is happening is important for people to hear, just because people might be confused about what's going on themselves, right? And then just hearing other people that are in the same spot kind of makes you feel less crazy, right? Like just a bit of it kind of brings you together, right? Just like a bit of solidarity. Like, all right, cool, yeah, nobody really knows what the fuck's going on. So I think there is actually value even in saying, hey, there's not a lot going on right now. So, but anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, just not to beat ourselves up, because I think that there is still value in picking through when there's not much going on. But yeah, please continue.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I really like try to look at things from like the best perspective I can, and like in this, even though like market's not great for making money right now, I'd say like my perspective is like, okay, I'm gonna at least like try and like enhance my own skills and process and learning, while it is a slow time, while it's like during the bowl, like you really don't have a ton of time to like sit back and like think through things. It's kind of just like go go go. There's so much stuff happening, so I think this is a good time to kind of learn, I would say. And that in itself is a good thing, even though there's not direct monetary results that you're getting from that, learning right now. I think it's a good time to explore new ecosystems. Like I'm like really trying to learn like shit coining lately, like get up to date on that, because I don't think that's going away. Like it hasn't gone away since last cycle. Like there's always been different shit coins that have popped off. So I think that's like a skill that I'm like really trying to add to my repertoire. So like once we do really go to bull run, like I'm very much prepared for that. And that's just an example. It's not what I'm saying like everyone should do. Just like find your own thing. Like crypto has gotten a lot bigger. There's a lot more areas of interest now. So I think really just like finding more of a niche, like whether it is like if you're more of like a long-term trader, looking into new projects that seem interesting to you, like this could be like a decent entry if there is something that you have like done a ton of research on, and like you feel convicted on like the team and the future of whatever this project is. I think this is a good time to like do a little bit more in-depth research and learning, because the market isn't it's not moving very much. There's not a ton of opportunities at the moment, so it's kind of just like make use of your time, to prepare yourself for the future.
There you go. Love it. You got a quick itch that you need to fix. You can go get some shit coins, but long term, now it's time to do your homework. I love it. Good call.
Yeah. A little bit more on the coin side of things. We saw it last week. I think it was there's a bit of a. I mean, it's been up and down a bunch, right? We've kind of been ranging a bunch in this like 58 to like 61K or so range for I don't know, a couple weeks or so. I'd have to look back, but uh, we saw more. It seemed like at least speculation is that U.S. sold more Silk Road Bitcoin, a pretty large amount. I think 10K last week on like Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday or so, and you could kind of see the dump in the chart at that time too. I think that's a good thing. That's kind of like an overhang. Market doesn't like the uncertainty of supply overhang that this is going to be sold. So that's good. It's not all of the Silk Road Bitcoin; it's only a portion of it. But I think it seems like, at least again, it's not like confirmed. We're just like looking at the transfers and speculating that it has been sold. But it seems like I think last I saw it was over half. It's been sold now, so that's a positive. Um, and now, and on the ETH front, actually, kind of going back to Crypto Don, he actually took a long position in ETH as well as in the ETH BTC like ratio. Like you can long that ratio on different exchanges. Um, which it's notably been bleeding for like 2 years now. ETH BTC ratio, so it's kind of a big deal. But he talks about how it's at a pretty strong weekly support. Both ETH is and ETH BTC on the weekly time frame, and he thinks disregarding this ETH ETF as a bullish catalyst is like kind of seems like the market sentiment, seeing as like if you look at the net outflows inflows, it's actually net negative. Right now, there's been more outflows from that Grayscale Trust than there has been in inflows in the ETF, and I think he basically thinks that's going to reverse. And once we get some more bullish sentiment, then that's really going to show the power of the ETF on the E side of things. So that's super interesting, given that the market in general just has a pretty bearish sentiment on ETH, and he's kind of like, no, I actually feel pretty good about ETH versus Bitcoin in like the short to midterm. So that's notable, and something we also have talked about for a few weeks now. Given that we expected those big outflows from that Grayscale Trust to happen and kind of hurt ETH quite a bit. And now that those have largely subsided, I think there's a lot of clear sky for ETH. Let's just hope it just has the opportunity, I should say, and let's just hope that it can capture that opportunity.
Hell yeah, a lot of news there. Bit to unpack. One thing I did want to just mention or comment about is just like the incompatibility with the news that we heard like a couple weeks ago, just about like the presidential nominees, like all like trying to add crypto to like the balance sheet to the country and stuff. But then they're just like, they have like these assets from Silk Road and they're just like dumping them now. So just that's a interesting dynamic. Like I picture, internally people being like, nah, hold. And they're just like hitting the fucking market sell button and just nuking. Like that's an interesting dynamic. But yeah, I swear I thought I thought that stuff was over, but I think I'm getting confused with the Mt. Gox money that was recovered. But crazy profitable business just in recovering assets and dumping them. Jesus. But anyway.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Mt. Gox, Silk Road. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing we're talking about.
Okay, gotcha. Is that what Germany?
Yeah,
was
no, I
dumping
thought that was hopefully going to be over too. We thought that that the Harris would want to change their stance. It doesn't seem like. I mean, we saw some rumblings about her like reaching out to crypto-friendly people and like Democrats talking about that, but there hasn't really been any steps forward on the Democratic side for pro crypto agenda, and that's unfortunate. We haven't seen anything from Harris herself yet, and I think her odds, which are now more than Trump, to win, at least on like Polymarket. If you go there now, it looks like she's 51% to win the presidential election and has Trump at 47%. So that's I think also hurt as well, since Trump has been notably a lot more pro crypto than what Harris has been. That's definitely hurt the crypto market. I think we've kind of seen that a bit play out given that the stock market rallied quite a bit from its dip and crypto did not rally. It actually went the opposite direction. So we saw some inverse correlation there, which is unfortunate when it's to the downside from that aspect. So yeah, we're kind of getting hurt from that right now. Hopefully there's some progress there, at least on the Dem side. So to ensure the crypto industry can do well regardless of whoever gets voted for. But currently, it seems like quite a partisan issue until we see something from the Harris side.
Fingers crossed, man. Yeah, we've been taking a beating, man. You know, just all bruised and bloodied over in the corner. Like, who's next? You know, hopefully we get somebody that's a little more lenient, a little more open minded. But fingers crossed, TBD. There, we'll have to just wish for the best.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's really all I got from the macro perspective of things. Might be a lighter show today. I don't know. There's not a ton to talk about, um, but yeah, I wanted to open it at least up to the community, to you guys listening, and if anyone has any thoughts, questions, whatever regarding macro, regarding Bitcoin, ETH, Sol.
All good on my end. I did want to give a quick shout out to a field report by Botwin that had me just cracking up this morning, man. I was like giggling and cackling, laughing. Just very funny writing style. We covered a bunch of news stories just from over the weekend. It's while you were touching grass. One of them I thought was interesting. The U.S. government has quite a bit of SHIB. They've got almost $1 million, like 700K U.S. dollars worth. They're like the 19th biggest holder. I thought that was pretty interesting.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, it's a good read though. The whole thing is just hilarious, the way it's written. But some interesting stuff going on. One of them was, I think one thing that we want to talk about today, but it does connect well to what you were talking about earlier. Just in times like these, testing new ecosystems and trying to learn. It's something that I don't know much about, so be eager for whenever it's time for us to get into that one. He touches on it a bit in that field report too, but.
Yeah, I was gonna get into it. I'm assuming you're talking about Tron.
I am, yeah. I feel like I'm missing something when there's two different field reports talking about it. I'm like, oh boy, something's happening.
Yeah, actually a lot's happening over on Tron, surprisingly. I actually haven't seen much about it on the crypto timeline. I've seen here and there, but for how much I guess cooks there have been over there. But basically, Tron, if you're familiar with, it's been around for quite a long time. The blockchain, um, it's actually number 11 on Coin Market Cap in terms of the size. Yeah, it looks like it's been around since 2017.
It was here when I got into crypto, and it was one of the top 5 then. It was like Cardano and Tron were kind of the ones kind of fighting to get in there, and people were all about Litecoin and shit then. So yeah, definitely OG.
Yeah, I remember Jinzo talking about Tron when I first joined this space, like Top Shot days. How he'd get into like Tron stuff, and it just felt so foreign to me. But haven't really heard of anything of Tron since then until now, where they're starting up this pump fund replica out over on Tron called Sun Pump. Sun for Justin Sun, who is a notable person, I guess, in the crypto space. You'll see him. I feel like he does this once a year, where he'll just offer to pay an insane amount of money for something. I think he did it for when the Curve guy got liquidated. He offered to buy a bunch at a discounted price, but he does a lot of these public.
I think he's the founder of Tron.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He does a lot of. Yeah, he's a billionaire. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's and he also owns I think it's Polynix is the centralized exchange as well, which is a decently big one. Sorry if I'm getting anything wrong. I don't know a ton about Tron. Actually, Jinzo is here. He'd be able to school us a bit. But anyway, how, as it pertains, I guess opportunity here is that this pump fund replica just started out last week, and there's been quite a few cooks. I posted about it, but there's the main one is Sundog. That's the biggest coin. And it's already over 100 million market cap that it reached and that was started in this pump fund, which this is crazy, but I'm pretty sure that is higher market cap than any sold modest pump fund.
Ah, shit! You You're getting a little, maybe it's me, but it's like disconnected a little bit. Missed the final punch there. The big, it's bigger than
Maybe
anything
I'm too
on.
far from my mic. Is that bad? Is that better?
Yeah, sounds good now. You said it's bigger than anything than what on Sol?
I was saying it's bigger than any coin that's launched on Pump Fund on Sol. This
Oh
Tron
shit.
coin already, like higher market cap.
Interesting.
I think maybe Belly and Michi have gotten higher, but they have since fallen quite a bit.
You think
Not
it's
100
just
percent sure
because
on that,
of?
but I think I saw that. Like I saw that a comparison of the highest Pump Fund ones, and yeah, the Solana sellers are very real.
I wonder if it's because of like how the rollout happened. Like I wasn't around when Pump Fund launched, but maybe you had more variety then, where the Tron one just kind of had this first one. It kind of just caused everybody to pile on.
Yeah,
Or maybe because
I think that's
people are more familiar with the concept. Yeah. So like, have there been other Pump Fund clones, or is this the sort of the first big second one?
there have been other ones on like Solana itself. I think like Dex Screener has their own called Moonshot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but
Interesting. That is an interesting point. Yeah, I was trying to process, pick that apart a bit for a second. But yeah, that's pretty fascinating. What's it at now?
right now it's let's see, $109 million.
Huh.
Is the Sundog. That's the biggest token. And there's been quite a few other ones. Like there's one sitting at like 14 million FOFAR, which I know several MVHQ people got in early on, which is great to see. That was like around the same time I posted about it as when that launched um, on Friday, I think. Then there's like Sun Cat, obviously because there's a Sundog, there's a Sun Cat. That's like 5 million. But yeah, if you look at like these coins that I posted, like the 24-hour chart, there's a lot of green going on.
Oh yeah.
Obviously it's similar to Pump Fund where there's a shit ton getting launched, and you got to pick the right ones. But it's certainly been a good environment so far. I don't know how long that's going to last. I still haven't really seen a ton of people talking about it. I've seen like here and there on the timeline, but I feel like usually the best time to, I guess, sell into the hype is when you're seeing like everyone on Twitter mentioning it, and I don't think it's gotten quite to that point yet. And also, this is a big. I've been talking about this with base coins sometimes, but I think it's the same for Tron, where it's like a pretty big incentive for these coins to cook, at least for like a little bit, just to get more activity over on their chain. We've seen it actually reflect in Tron putt price itself. That's gone up. I think it's like one of the best coins this past week. Yeah, it's up 10% on the week, while Bitcoin and ETH are both down on the week. Bitcoin, Sol, ETH, Sol, like everything basically on my watch list is down on the week, and Tron is up 10%. So it's certainly helping them a ton. And so I'd say, given the fact that Justin Sun has big pockets, he's like creating a pipeline for these memes to get listed on his centralized exchange. I think there's still opportunity here for this to continue for at least a little while, especially while there's not really much else to do. I could see people continuing to kind of hop on and like try their luck over on this. Again, it's still very risky, but I'd say usually when there's like new opportunity and liquidity is building in a certain area, that's just usually the best time to start, before it reaches critical mass. So we might still have like a week or two with these Tron coins, but yeah, I just want to at
I
least
love
point
it.
out what's going on.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. I love your time frame too. It's so realistic. A week or two. I was just going to say something
Yeah,
similar to that. It's like one of the takeaways for me is the fact you're saying like it's got this crazy volume. It's got this and that are happening. Hell, the token price is pumping. Obviously, something's happening, but it's not on the timeline yet, right? People aren't talking about it as much or shilling it quite yet. So once you hear about it, it's usually too late. So I was going to say you'll probably expect to see those posts in the next week or two, which is so funny that you said give it a week or two. Amazing. Yeah. So, hey, man, this is exactly
yeah,
what we come here for, right? It's slow and boring, but this is why people are cooking right under our nose over here on Tron. So, fingers crossed for you guys that are brave in the ecosystem. I'm gonna have to dabble a little myself, see what's going on. Well, do you have the URL for the pump, sun pump?
Yeah, 1 second. I did a real quick post
Oh,
as
that's
well.
right. You have the field report. I'm sure there's links there.
Um yeah, here I'll post that and then I'll post the field report as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
cool.
like
This is the
Tron.
URL I was at, but
Basically
I got
just
there
like
from Google. Sorry.
yeah, it'll
Yeah, I
real
was just
quick
wanted
just
to make
tell
sure.
you it'll real quick just tell you like the what you need, how to bridge or how to just send TRX is the Tron token over there, and then like where to look for coins and stuff. Um, but yeah, man,
Beautiful. We got a Tron focus discussion yet or no?
we do not know. We just talk about it over in shitcoins. I
I
don't think
was,
it's necessary to do a new one.
I was yeah, it's cool. I searched it. I was expecting to see just like a dead chat with like Jinzo with like 3 posts in there or something from a couple years ago. All right,
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah,
Yeah,
we can just
appreciate the
stay in
info.
the shitcoin chat. Yeah.
Beautiful. Hell yeah. Anybody got any Tron alpha or war stories or old time stories to make fun of them? Surely, I remember them getting memed on so hard in the past. That's about all I've got.
I just have a vouch for Jake's field report. Appreciate the report. Jake got set up and was trading Tron on Dex Screener in like 5 minutes. So thank you for doing that.
Oh,
Huge help.
no problem, man.
Yo, a glowing review. Fuck yeah.
Have any luck, Ross?
I actually saw it like super late at night, and I was just pretty tired from showing the fam around SD this weekend. So I set it up. I bought some Tegan, or was it Tegan, the Robo dog? I saw you shout that
Yeah.
out in shitcoins. So I just bought a few $100 worth and went to bed. I figured just with where everything's at from a macro perspective, like if it takes off, I definitely see that being one of the front runners. Definitely seems like Sundog is as well. So might get some bags on a pullback there, but I think just setting it and waiting for people to come just seems like a easy enough play, right? Like we saw the exact same thing with Solana shitcoins. There was no sense of fading the early adopted coins, and the winners stayed winning. So just hoping to chill, sit back, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, yeah, it's unfortunate. I posted it like when it like had pumped like quite a bit on like Friday night, and that was like probably that was a peak for like a good amount of the alts, and then it kind of like subsided on Saturday a bit, and then picked right back up on Sunday, uh, like pretty substantially once again. So if you like were to be out, Friday night and not see it until Saturday and then get involved, like that would have been the perfect timing. Unfortunately, I like bridged a bunch over at Friday night, had a couple old fashions in me, so I wasn't as great with my risk management, and I kind of ate a bunch of stuff more than I normally would when they're up a bit. Uh, and the stuff I aped isn't doing as well as some of these newer coins, or like even like the main coin Sundog. I wish I would just got into that, because like that's usually the smart play, is to get into the leader of a new ecosystem, and that has done really well, along with some other quite a bit other alts. But unfortunately, the ones I picked didn't do well. But I'm happy that at least people are getting involved. And there has been some big cooks I've seen over in the shitcoin channel. I know they talked about like the Fofar one, which went crazy over the past like 24 hours.
It definitely seems like there were some really good ops, but still, I think a lot of those names that you shouted out early still have a decent chance to it, right? It's only a few days old, and I mean, it was definitely there with Solana shitcoins. Like a lot of stuff pulled back maybe 20 or 30% when other stuff ripped, and I was like, oh no, that's it. But I mean, shitcoins can go down 70% and then 10x a day later for whatever reason. So I think it's just a bet on the Tron ecosystem more than anything, and definitely with the market being boring across the board from a lot of members in MVHQ as well as Twitter. It's just like if there's anything remotely interesting where there's money to be made, you'll start to get some speculation, and then boom, suddenly those early coins from even just Friday could be the grails in the shitcoin streets. So I think it's interesting.
As are yeah. Hopefully we get a continued liquidity pump into the Tron ecosystem, and it'll help all our bags out over there. Yeah.
You gave me $1 million idea in there, Jake. You said the alcohol affected your risk management. We should fork Dex Screener, but add a breathalyzer to it. Help keep people safe.
Oh man. That reminds me of this this dude that I went to college with. He's like one of my housemates, and he had this business idea in college of like the boozelator, where you like basically just like install like it was like this like breathalyzer in a bar, and people could pay to get breathalyzed. It didn't work out.
Turns out nobody wants that.
No.
Be for your own good, though, because you could just close it and go to Dex Screener. But at that point, hey, I'm drunk and I'm doing something dumb, and that could just be your light money on fire wallet,
Right. Yeah, I like that more.
Oh, I didn't have much anything else for the week. Just really thought it was going to be low key and quiet, but now I'm going to be watching Tron shitcoins, keeping an eye on shitcoin chat. But anything else for the week, Jake, or anyone else? Any topics, thoughts, news, speculation? Any drops? What are we minting? Do we still do that? Is that still cool? That's not cool.
I was just going to add, Top Hat, 2 quick things. First and foremost, not to infringe on some amazing MVHQ IP, but just shout out that Boss Dogs is pushed to tomorrow, so there'll be a ping on that. But in the spirit of the Wake and Jake and talking shitcoins, I still just want to shout out, like, when the markets are trading sideways, really good time to be trading perps on some of your favorite coins. I've sort of been on a journey this year to learn them and understand them better, but I love just hopping on Avo and just kind of like trading to see where the relative strength is at. If it's coins resurging as Bitcoin goes up to 60K, I kind of wait and then place some limit orders so that if Bitcoin, falls below 60K, a lot of these alts will drop like 5 to 8% in a day. So there's definitely still some money to be made out there. And a lot of times stuff being boring can just give you an edge if you just kind of pay attention to those ranges. So wanted to shout that out.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Good call.
Yes, sir. Always appreciate the alpha. Glad you let us know about Boss Dogs. Excited for tomorrow. Hell yeah. To learn about what's going on in the ordinals street. I saw NFTs have been, certainly improving. Is the same been for ordinals?
Yeah, they're coming up a little bit. It hasn't been anything crazy. There's definitely been some good resurgence on runes, I would say, more than ordinals. But, it's like stuff that's been beaten down 80% and now it's up 50 or 100% in the day. So it's still down overall from the highs, but it's just one of those things that, if you are entering in ordinals or runes now, there are some opportunities for like 2x's and stuff. So you never know. That's kind of the beauty of a red market, is that you get a bounce every now and then that just gives you, massive gains.
Yeah. Maybe we should just quick shout out the NFT market. I mean, has been quite a while since we've really talked about NFTs. I know that was our bread and butter back in the bull. So we should still at least keep track here. But Bored Apes are up 23% on the 7-day in the past week. Pudgies are up 10%. Munes are up 16%. Azukis are up 13%. Lil Pudgies 11%. Azuki Elementals 18%. So Moonbirds are up 13%. Clonex are up, or right now, that was different. Clonex are only at 4%. D-God's up 8%. So we're seeing kind of a little bit of an NFT bounce here. I wonder if that's gonna continue. I saw some speculation around how like Bored Apes always pump before a big announcement. So like, here comes a big announcement here soon, since they always have like insider trading going on. So maybe we'll get something big from Apes here this week. Or maybe we already did and I missed it. But any thoughts from you guys around like NFTs, and if you think is he going to continue, or if we're just kind of a bit of a dead cat bounce?
I think I'm bearish in general, sadly. I just I don't know. The euphoria wore off, and the glaring problems are just more and more obvious. I guess, yeah. Also, just on my like YouTube algo, I could speak on that. I've just been getting random, just like anti NFT, just like dunking on like Web3 games and stuff like that. Like that seems to be back and trending again. Like people just
Oh yeah.
making anti NFT content. Yeah, like people were like shitting on Illuvium and just like checking back in on like play to earn games and stuff like that. Dogging them. So yeah, the stigma's still there. I don't know who's buying the JPEGs, but for those that have bags that they're exiting, I'm happy for it. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough unless there's like, yeah, obviously there's token plays. Like we've discussed all the different the ways NFTs could still kind of survive. But as far as like the big, we'll call them blue chips. I don't know. It's kind of a confusing place for them, I think.
Yeah, I'm honest. I'm in a similar boat. I would say like I'm not like overly bearish because we've already bled a long time. We've had both price and time capitulation on NFTs. So I don't want to like be overly bearish the bottom, but it's also like it could just also range here for quite a long time still too. So I'm not itching to get in until I really see something. From a market perspective, where there's like a significant bounce in both price as well as like interest, for me to want to really dive back in to the NFT front, which I think there will be eventually. I don't think NFTs are going away. Maybe that's a hot take. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But I still think there's going to be another run for NFTs. But sentiment is, like you said, like it's still pretty bad. So I'm kind of just going to wait until that breakout before I really want to get involved. I don't really want to be buying any like dead cat bounces or anything at this point.
Yeah, totally. I'm with you. The thing that made NFTs and I should say JPEGs, things that made JPEGs so fun were the multiples, right? Making money. So, unless I don't think we return to what happened before. So I think, if people do into the market and we see that type of activity again, it'll be the new shiny thing. And maybe it is a type of NFT, maybe there's something new development that happens. But as far as like the legacy, like PFPs and stuff, like the blue chips of prior, I just don't fully get it. Like even Pudgy, right, who's like crushing it. As far as like my metrics, what I would consider successful, they're doing amazing. But I still just don't understand the value of the PFP and like the Genesis and like all that stuff. It's just not. It's not that clear to me, and I'm in the weeds, man. And I, like obviously had a bunch of unrevealed Pudgies. Like pretty familiar, but even with what I know, it's not clear. So yeah, just explaining that to a bigger audience, if we do have a next wave, seems confusing. Whereas, new shiny thing, maybe it's ordinals, maybe it's something else, but I don't know. I feel like when we have another cycle like that, just insanity, euphoria, crazy multiples, I think it'll be something new and shiny.
Yeah, you're likely right. I think what's gonna appreciate the most will be the new stuff. Either new in terms of like brand new, or like stuff that was maybe started in like the bear, where sentiment was already so bad, that kind of like has been building for a long time and like reaches that like point where people start to appreciate it because they've been around and have been building cool stuff. But we'll see. I think
fingers crossed for
maybe
Sofa Maker, Sofa Vision.
Sofa Vision, huh? That's your call?
I mean, you're saying started in the bear. I mean, if there's any hope, maybe it's the anime token when that comes around.
Maybe this is a good time to kind of go to a more blue collar segment. What are we farming here? Especially with like not much going on. I'm kind of wondering what people are, if anything, they're farming, because I'm not really doing anything right now besides just my normal Pirate Nation that I've been doing for like a year and a half or so. But
I would imagine I would imagine the ton farming is probably pretty consistent. There's a lot of clicker games, but there's some other just different apps and stuff that seem to be having some airdrops or at least some snapshots and whatnot. One I can give a shout out because I'm a bit more familiar with it is that game Calamity. Talked about it in weeks prior. I think I played it one day when we were waiting for you to show up, but
Mhm.
we have an AMA with them tomorrow actually at 5. So I'll be excited to talk to them. But it's essentially like a pixel art Diablo. It's like on-chain Diablo. You just kind of run through dungeons and you get gear and materials. And there's like an auction house and gems and whatnot, different classes and spells. You can respec the weapons. But yeah, it's just a Diablo type dungeon runner experience. Man, I had cheated, I had cheesed, I found like a glitch in a spell, man, and I stayed up like 2 nights and just like grinded out a bunch of levels, and they did a fucking data reset. They rolled back the servers. It was like a fresh start. So I was like, oof, they got me. But totally fair though, because yeah, I was cheating the shit out of that. But they do have an airdrop campaign going right now. Or sorry, the airdrop campaign hasn't started yet. I think that's going to start next month. But right now they have like events going on. Like after they did the server wipe, they're giving out money to people that hit max level and just like take a screenshot and stuff. But so far it's been all right. It's been okay game, pretty decent experience. But I'll be excited to talk to them tomorrow and get some more information about the upcoming airdrop stuff, which I don't have any details about. So we'll try and find those out. But as far as the gameplay goes, gets a thumbs up for me.
Sweet, that's a good shout. I know you. Yeah, I remember you saying watching you play that. Is that I know you. I also know you just you have like no details, but do you know at least it's like it's an airdrop for a token they have not launched yet?
Correct. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a campaign for an airdrop of a token that's not launched. And I know that their NFT Genesis free mint collection has like 3 tiers, and the top 2 tiers get a guaranteed allocation of that token. And then all of them, so the bottom tier and the top 2 tiers, those let you play and earn during the campaign. But they're cheap. They're like $60, $80, something like that.
Okay, so you buy one of those. Is there like, do they have a free play option?
No, so part of it is like the free mint NFT was like your access to their like closed sort of airdrop. It's almost like a beta, but like the airdrop for people that are beta testing, kind of a weird like fusion of like closed access gated through the NFT for the airdrop campaign.
I see. Okay. Sick. Anything else? Anyone from the crowd farming something?
Yeah, this is Alex Fibonacci. Can you hear me?
Yo, yep.
I had to hop on a little bit late, but I got the ping from Jabab. This dog's ton coin claim is going on the next few days. I don't know if you guys talked about that at all, but it's not actively farmable. But if people did it earlier, there's I think TG on the 23rd.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah, good
That's
shout.
in non-time sensitive info. There's some links there from Fib to claim that. I was actually didn't speak on it directly, but we did mention the ton stuff. But yeah, should have called that out. I was actually did that in another tab while we were doing the show. Got a little baby, tiny amount of dogs, man. Unfortunately, that was one of the ones that I did not stay on top of. 888 dogs. I got no dogs. Where are my dogs at? That's pathetic.
Are you able to claim from the US?
I don't frequent the US. I'm up in Canada at the moment, doing the show from Canada.
Yeah.
I tried to claim from somewhere else, but it didn't really. It just was being weird.
One thing that sucks for me on Ton is when I click like inside of Telegram, if I could click like connect wallet, I can't connect my Ton Keeper from my browser. It just doesn't want to talk to Chrome. So I usually just connect it to the in Telegram wallet. And then you can transfer if needed or whatever. But the in Telegram wallet, that one worked for me, just like one click. It would just be me. I feel like such a boomer trying to use any of this Telegram shit because it's always like a headache. But people tout it as like the user-friendly one, the onboarding one. And I'm like, God, there's so much happening and nothing seems to want to connect.
Yeah, it's kept telling me to like KYC my Telegram, but obviously I'm not going to do that.
The fuck?
I haven't done any of the ton stuff. Sounds like it's not crazy, but hopefully people made a little money from that.
Man, it was just that first, I think, not coin was such a cook. So everybody's trying to imitate it. Just a fraction of the success would be a big cook for people. So yeah, so many of these clicker games, man. I did a couple and then just fell off completely, just got burnt out. My hamster CEO is probably confused. The whole business is just in disarray. Stacks of paper on fire. Poor guy.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to chat through?
Okay, a little info from Chelsea here. I've been seeing a lot of people trying to claim ton game coins on mobile phones from USA are running into roadblocks since the Telegram accounts are linked to your USA number. I'm sure they have/will have workarounds. So yeah, could be a issue there with the mobile device if it's tied to your US number. Yeah, mine's not tied to anything, I don't think. Actually, no, it's got my number on here. Man, just one of the reasons I don't really like Telegram. Just a Discord native, what can I say? Makes sense over here. But no, I got nothing else, Jake. If you feel good, we can call it here. Of course, we can hang around, kick it, and talk shit. But you good with wrapping things here?
Yeah, all set. Quick recap. We're kind of just in wait and see mode still on macro. Not fun, but is what it is. Continue to touch a little more grass for your summertime. Tron stuff might be something to look into. And outside of that, we're just kind of watching, waiting, taking the conviction plays only at the moment.
Yes, sir. Shitcoins on Tron, farming games on Ton, and keeping your ears to the ground. That's the name of the game this week. Love it. Beautiful. Well, thank you everybody for rolling through for another episode of Wake and Jake. We'll see you again same time next week, 12 Eastern on Monday. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for episode of Boss Dogs, and also that Calamity AMA is going to be at 5. Just keep an eye on the events channel pings and whatnot if you want to catch those events when they go live. But until next time, thanks everybody.